Hello, unengineers. Welcome to episode 8 of the Unengineered podcast. And yes, we missed a week. Yes, we have no excuse. All right, we were trying out new content.
Hey, we made shorts for you guys. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
They take time to make.
Exactly. And
Uh-huh.
since it was the first time, we experimented with it a little bit. All right, so go to our
Mhm.
IGTV. Actually, IGTV, right?
IGTV, right?
Yep,
Huh.
it's on IGTV, exclusively on IGTV. It's like vertical video of 2 to 3 minutes, and we give you a lot of information in those 2 to 3 minutes. All right, and yeah, the link is in the description. Instagram, the Unengineered Podcast. Go check it out. Share it with your friends because it's very cool. Yeah. Adit, what are we gonna talk about today?
So we are gonna talk about probably the most hype AI conversation ever. We'll talk about GPT-3 and how the entire Twitter lost its mind over it.
Yeah,
And it was,
true.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. It's a huge leap forward in terms of tech and AI.
Yep.
It's just not what people think it is. That's the problem. The people are thinking it will replace their designing, coding, writing jobs, but it won't do
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah,
I'll explain later.
I actually read somewhere that
Yeah.
it'll actually take over content writing jobs, and I was like, what the heck? So hopefully that doesn't happen.
It's a yes and no, kind
It's
of.
a yes and no. Okay, fine.
I'll
Adit will be
answer it.
explaining that.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Canon R5 and R6. These are two extremely hyped mirrorless cameras, like top of the line.
It's all hype this week.
Yeah. Oh man. Like R5 and R6, I think they're for the next 5 years. These camera bodies anywhere close to these, at least in the mirrorless segment, won't be released, right? Because that's how powerful these cameras are. We're also going to talk about this new game which has been announced. It's called The Medium, all right, and it's a psychological thriller, and there's a very unique concept to it, owing to the fact that we're actually playing one character, but that one character is present in two different worlds at once, right? So the screen is actually split in the middle, and in one window the character is in the real world, the human world, and in the other window the character is in the spirit world. All right, we're going to go into the depths of it as a third topic. All right, so let's begin with GPT-3.
What's the full form of GPT? GPT stands for Generative Pre-training Transformer. अब इससे अगर किसी को कुछ नहीं समझा,
Damn,
trust me, you're
Optimus
not
Prime
alone.
level stuff.
मेरे को भी कुछ नहीं समझ.
Why
Boss, how do you come up with this? Avatar,
Transformer?
Optimus Prime. Every time there is a new tech, you just related to some movie. Okay. So at a very basic level, what it is you give it some text, it predicts the next आगे का line, आगे का word. वैसे. It's that.
Oh, okay.
What people are
So it's
thinking
predictive text, but with extra steps.
It's predictive text who has scanned the internet for all the knowledge, most of the knowledge, and it's on steroids. It has
All
pretty
right,
dense model.
fine. Got it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
All right.
So just to tell you how much it has advanced from its previous GTP2 version.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep it simple and I'm gonna talk in terms of params. Params are the parameters required. And GTP2 had 1.5 billion parameters in it. Okay, 1.5 billion.
What the heck?
And let that sink in.
What the heck? What does parameters mean?
Let
Parameters
me do
matlab
this.
like a checklist, right?
It's now the checklist. It's hard to explain. I don't understand it completely. As in, I have done a lot of specialization in artificial intelligence and stuff. It's just that if you see a neural network,
oh, acha,
it's
vaisa.
Coming in wala part.
Right. Got
So
it.
it's
So
hard
those
to
are
explain. If
parameters.
someone can do it better, a better job in the comments, please go
Please
do
do
it.
that,
I'm not an
yeah.
expert in artificial intelligence, but I can research stuff pretty well, and I didn't understand this pretty well, the AI wala part, but I understood what it does and what it is wala part. So I'll explain that better. Okay. So GTP2 had 1.5
It's GPT,
billion
Advait,
parameters.
it's GPT.
Sorry.
Ever since
GPT-2
we
has
discussed
1.
this, right? Ever since we discussed this,
I
we've been calling
I
it
don't know
GTP.
why I call it GTP. Okay.
All right.
GPT-3 has 170 billion parameters.
What?
From 1.5
Oh
to
my
170.
God.
That's 130 113 times.
Holy shit.
113 times.
Man, that's crazy. No wonder it's so accurate, right?
Accuracy will be
Accuracy.
It's accurate at producing natural language.
Right.
It can talk like a human.
Hmm,
So
hmm,
that's
hmm.
the thing.
Hmm.
So GPT-3 has effectively ingested most of what humans have published online.
Damn.
It uses all the text available on internet to generate a statistically plausible response based on the text it receives. So it tries to be correct most of the time. It doesn't have a trigger for if it's going correct or if it's going wrong. I'll come back to this. I'll come back to this point later,
Right.
because the founder of OpenAI, he did mention this point. Okay.
What is OpenAI?
Amazing. OpenAI is the research startup thing
Achha.
which made this AI.
All right.
It is backed by Elon Musk. I think he pulled out or something, but I'm not sure. It was backed by Elon Musk.
Okay.
But GPT-3 has this open API program or something in which you can apply an API. It's an application programming interface. We did talk about it last episode. Mein.
Yep.
Go watch it, TikTok wala. What a plug, man.
What a plug.
Okay, so GPT-3 has an open API which allows people to integrate stuff into it.
Samjha.
Someone integrated it in Google Docs or Google Sheets. Someone in some design application, and someone in its coding application.
So essentially, if you add GPT-3 to any of your applications that you're using, it makes your application much more smarter, right?
Kind of. So the way it works is you give it some pre-knowledge,
information.
Suppose you wanted to translate stuff, so you'll give it some translation in English to French ka, and then it will do those because it has a lot of knowledge base.
So instead of you going to Google and typing in the translations, right, GPT does that for you, and at a very fast speed, right?
No, it doesn't go to Google. It has collected. It has collected all the knowledge already.
Okay.
So it goes into its database.
And it has taken all the knowledge from Google or whatever, all the internet sources already, and it's storing it somewhere or something. Right?
Yeah. Google is technically an index. It's not a data set of knowledge.
It's not
that's
right.
Yes,
Right.
Okay. So I have this video. It's pretty amazing. It's predicting the population of states. It's not predicting technically.
It's just entering the information it already has, right?
As you can see, the state names are already entered. 3 states are there and population was there. So when it enters a new state, it's automatically loading. The creator of this tweet created a function in Google Cloud Function, and it gives it predicts the output of that. So they have already entered state में Illinois and उसका population 12.67 million, California उसका population, Ohio उसका population, and then when the creator enters Alaska and has a function GPT-3 करके, and when he runs that function, it goes onto the internet, finds something relational to the three
Right, got it. 3 states.
Inputs that were already given. It creates a relationship and then predicts the output result. Although it's not correct in this case. As you can see, the tweet below says that it's not correct. The Michigan's was never was 10.31 million and stuff. So what it is good at is building relationships between the data you give it to, which is very important because that is one way how we think. And
yes,
so
that's right.
It doesn't have a sense of if it's correct or wrong.
Yes.
And if you move the video a bit ahead, let me just do it. You can see it does math there. And it shows that it is good at building relationships because 18 plus 3 is 21, 42 plus 94 is 136, 10 plus 93 is 103, and we gave it 14 and 40. So it has to build a relationship between these 3. And you can see it is thinking or something like that, and then it will give it an output of 54. See?
Nice.
So it's good at building relationships between data. So that's pretty cool. And this finally, there was a person. So this guy also entered CEO ka naam there and the company. And then finally he gave it the last CEO and it predicted the company. So it is going onto the internet, finding the related information to it, and then predicting the output.
Mm-hmm.
That is how it's actually working.
Samjha.
So what people need to realize is the AI is not thinking by itself. It
It's
doesn't
not
have
thinking.
a model.
Huh.
Like we have a brain model to think creatively. The AI
Mhm.
can't think creatively. So
Yeah.
people
now,
need to stop worrying that their jobs are gonna go.
Yeah. Now
Like,
that I
are you
understand this,
stupid?
I'm like,
Huh.
ये कुछ भी नहीं है. It's quite
And
dumb
I've
actually.
been trying to explain it to people for so
Good.
long. Everybody is worried that AI will take your job.
It's
That
different.
is what happened at the industrial revolution. People were worried the machines will take their jobs,
Yep.
but they didn't take their jobs, they just created new jobs.
More jobs.
And
That's
whenever
right.
this happens, the mundane tasks that we have to repeatedly do, like
Right.
welding a body,
Right.
painting a car, we don't have to do that anymore because they're not productive enough. They're just
Yep.
tasks. And
That's right.
I'll show you a couple of more examples here. This one's pretty cool. So this one is targeting my job. So okay. And as you can see,
Oh yeah, the Google one.
So-
right? Oh shit, that was very impressive.
oh no, this is not the Google one. So
Then-
JSX is kind of a coding, JavaScript coding thing. And
Alright.
what this creator did is, I'm just gonna call them creators. You can see their names here. I don't want to
Mhm.
pronounce their names.
Sure.
And so what it did is, it gave it two samples. This page looks like this, and this is its code. And the coding was in JSX. Okay.
Acha.
And then he described what he wanted. A button that looks like watermelon. And the GTP model created a JSX for it. So you see how it works. As a दो relation दिया उसने, and
so
the
you
third
have
it
to
built
give it
itself.
some information, or it can't think of its own out of
Yeah.
nothing.
Exactly. It can't generate stuff out of thin air.
Some
Although, if it doesn't have the data, like you can see here, this Twitter user asked, can you ask it for 3 buttons shaped like giraffe? It doesn't know what a giraffe is, so it created this.
Lol, nice.
So you see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool that you can do this because a lot of websites are similar.
Exactly.
If you are building a portfolio website,
yeah.
it's your picture, your name, your about, contact me,
Yep.
and then your work.
Yep.
So instead of paying someone a couple of $1,000
Yeah,
to
that's
make
one
it,
of the first
or-
applications that came into my mind.
or
Because,
building it yourself by giving it 1 month,
Hmm.
you can just type it out and that will be made for you.
That's right.
That's
Exactly.
pretty easy.
Right. We're getting rid of the mundane tasks that humans don't have to do. Right.
Yeah. But if you're creating something unique
Hmm.
that hasn't been done before, the AI won't be able to do it.
Yeah, it won't. Right.
It
So-
will create stuff based on prior knowledge. It
What
can
he
combine stuff based on prior knowledge.
Mhm.
It can't create stuff out of thin air like we do as humans.
Right. So that's good. That's good for us. So jobs to nahi jayenge. chill
There is
karo
this.
guys.
So there is this one more example that Google wala Atik was talking about. We'll embed it. We have already watched it, and
Mhm.
our reactions won't be unique. So we'll just put it in there, and you can see it.
But how did that work? Did he give information? उसने दिया
Okay,
रहेगा
yeah.
information.
So since we are doing it, we'll just put it here. The creator hasn't given an info what he did. Although, what I think he did was
Mhm.
he just showed the model a couple of pages of
हाँ.
things, how they look,
Right.
and the text box here.
हाँ.
This is a thing.
Google का logo ऐसे दिखता है.
Yeah. And the fun part was the amazing, like a mind-blowing part was it generated a working URL to a Google logo. So if you see this video, we'll embed it here.
समझा मेरे को.
And the creator is writing stuff, the Google logo, search box.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what the model automatically did was the Google ka logo it took from the internet. It didn't generate khud se.
Okay.
And
Huh.
it was a direct Google ka logo. If you see here, the source is a direct Google Images ka logo.
Got it.
The Google logo, it's written, right?
समझा.
And this is exactly the AI can't generate this, I think, as of now. So it just goes and takes a picture.
Picks up a picture. Yeah. That's
Okay. Yeah. Coming back to the important point that people are actually worried about, will GTP take your job? Just like always, it's a yes or no. If your job is making same websites over and over again for different clients,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, your job is gone.
Probably your job is gone. At least
But-
until GPT doesn't advance a slightly bit more.
Oh, come on, it can't. It made the Google ka homepage clearly. So as long as you give him enough portfolio ka website, it will create one for
Ah.
you.
But
You
then,
give it 5 portfolio websites, jinki tarah you want. You just describe what you want, and it's done.
damn. All right, so that is for sure gone.
So the
It depends on what you
API
want.
isn't
also
open to
sometimes.
everyone as of now. It is open to a few people who applied to it. It's,
Okay.
I think first come first serve, or
All right.
if you are doing something amazing with it, they'll put
Samjha.
you ahead in the line.
Nice.
But I'm pretty sure someone's going to replicate it or create something out of it because it's pretty amazing what it can do. Part of the reason why we work is one day we want everything to be automated.
True.
It's a part of the reason.
True. That's
Everyone,
right. That's right.
yeah. So we are kind of moving towards it, and this doesn't take the creative stuff away.
It does not.
Being creative doesn't mean making a website. It means adding something new to the website
New
which
to
it
the
was
website.
never done before.
Right.
So
That's
if that is your point, yeah, your job won't go. But if your point is creating the same website again and again for different clients with a bit of different styling and stuff, I think your job is gone. But then
If-
again, you should be doing something
if
more
anything,
creative.
this is an opportunity for people to level up their skills, right? Instead of being known
Exactly.
to just make websites, you should be known to bring something new to websites. It's high time you like made that thing your skill. Let's be known for doing that thing, right? Let's be known for being creative instead of just like making a website, because anybody can make a website, but not everybody can bring something new to a website, right? And then you can charge way
Exactly.
more money
So
to
once-
just do that.
Exactly. People will pay way more money to do something
Exactly.
creative because this is gonna get cheaper. So that is gonna get rarer, and फिर उसके बाद the price will go up.
Yeah,
You can
right.
earn a lot more. So coming back to the OpenAI ka paper, there was a line there. It says
Mhm.
GTP samples can lose coherence over sufficiently long passages. The model can contradict itself and occasionally contain non-sequitur sentences or paragraphs. Non-sequitur means
No, okay.
it says something like, it says line 1 and line 2 is completely contradictory. That is what it means technically.
Samjha. Okay.
Though there are some limitations. And when I said the founder made a statement, his name is Sam Altman, and this was his words, quote unquote. The GPT-3 hype is way too much. It's impressive, thanks for the compliments, but it still has serious weaknesses and sometimes still makes very silly mistakes. AI is going to
Nice,
change
yeah.
the world, but GPT-3 is just a very early glimpse at it. We
True.
still have to figure out a lot.
Yes, 100%.
So this pretty much sums the GPT hype and what it actually is and what it
Exactly.
actually is not. And
Exactly.
while I was
So-
reading this article
What it is
on
it is essentially a copy paste function of sorts. A very advanced copy paste function.
in a better way, this article from Nest Labs, I read it and it summed it up in a pretty nice way. It said that same way Excel enabled small businesses, independent workers, and non-profit organizations to offer better planning, GPT-3 will allow many to supercharge their workflows. That
True.
is an amazing definition for what GPT is to the layman.
Capable of.
Okay.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
just a tool to
So
like supercharge what you're already doing, save you a lot of time.
GPT can be your design assistant, your smarter secretary, your creative companion. It is good as
That's
some
great. That's
as a
awesome. I can already imagine.
yeah, a design assistant. You don't have to sit there making the entire portfolio website again and again. You can just tell it what to do and it will make it on your own. It can be a smart secretary because you waste time. You waste a lot of time on emails, right? Those emails have a format which
That's right.
which are like aisa informatory emails or something like that, which don't require a creative reply. So GPT-3 can just create a convincing draft or a reply which you can just read at a quick glance and send it, instead of thinking something unique every time.
Again, like a chatbot
it can
of sorts.
kind of a chatbot, but it's on a lot of steroids. the software is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, wait.
It's just that people have taken it in a wrong way. Whatever GPT writes, I'm pretty sure no one would be publishing it as an article they wrote, because the article still has a lot of flaws, because it might be factually
Exactly.
incorrect, there might be sentences contradicting each other, but it can be a companion. You can give it your research, what you have done, and it will spit out an article or a draft that will help you form the article in a better way, or take a new look at the article, because
Got it.
it's kind of good at doing that. It's good at generating stuff out of the stuff you give. So it's pretty nice for
Yeah.
that. Although I don't think anyone's gonna put articles on their name which GPT had made.
No, you can't.
It
It
can-
can't produce professional work essentially.
This next implementation, it can be a tireless teacher. And this has happened with me a lot of times. When I learn something new, as in I put a couple of months into learning a new skill like machine learning or Flutter or Android development or something like that.
Alright.
And to understand how much you have learned, you have to go online, find some quiz, pay for it maybe, or try doing stuff on your own.
True.
What you can rather do is put GPT through whatever you have learned, and then it can generate questions
Nice.
what you want.
That's a good idea.
And if you answer these correctly, that would be nice. And
get a prize.
finally, yeah, it won't take your job. So
That's your prize.
yeah. And finally, you can create a translation tool, something like Google Translate or something like that. And it already does that. So there's a language called legalese. It's the language which is used in legal documents. It's boring, it's complicated.
Oh God.
And
I
GPT
hate
can
that.
already translate it into simple
Hate that
English.
language.
It's just that don't be worried. Do something creative. If you're doing something repetitive, you're just wasting your time and life anyway. So do something creative. Make
Yep.
something. GPT can't make a podcast. Come on, make a podcast. Okay, so now that we are done with the AI topic, and let's move on to the next hype topic. That is Canon R5 and R6, right?
Something much simpler.
Atik knows a lot about cameras, and I have no clue what cameras are.
Yes.
And I framed it in such a bad way. I have little understanding of cameras, but yeah, I'll let Atik have
That's about it.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if you guys are into cameras, or even if you're not, you should know that last week Peter McKinnon, who's a very famous photographer, videographer on YouTube, he revealed or unboxed or unveiled these brand new camera bodies by Canon. All right, these are the R5, which is the premium top of the line, like best, सब कुछ मस्त करता है वो, ठीक है?
How much does it cost?
I'll tell you that later, all right? And the second one is the Canon R6, all right, which is a step below it, all right? Why are these cameras so hyped, right? First of all, these are mirrorless cameras, all right? Now, mirrorless cameras are, in a regular DSLR, guys, the light enters through the lens and it falls on a mirror inside the camera body, all right? And from that, वो mirror से bounce होके हम लोग को ऐसा preview दिखता है, right? So what we are seeing is essentially like what is what we are in a DSLR, what we are seeing is an unprocessed image, all right? The light is bouncing on a mirror, it's coming straight into our eyes, so there's no processing, there's no effects or anything on it if we look at it through the viewfinder, all right? Most DSLRs have a viewfinder and a screen, and when we look at it through the viewfinder, we are actually looking at a mirror image of what's in front of the lens. In a mirrorless camera, that mirror is not there, all right? So that has two advantages. Okay, yeah, that has two advantages. One is the size and the weight of the camera body itself, right? Mirrorless cameras are way lighter because the whole mirror system is not present in the camera body, and because of that you can like shrink the size also, which essentially is very, very important if you are traveling, which most people with the DSLR are. And the other advantage is that the light falls straight onto the sensor. Because of that, we are able to see the post-processing image, right? We are able to see the end result. Like
so what you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get in a mirrorless camera, yeah. I hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. But as far as I know, this is true. The R5 and R6 are both mirrorless cameras. So they're very thin, very light. And the R5 can shoot at a resolution of 4K 120 frames per second in RAW and C-Log. How do I explain this?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't
yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
Yeah. So,
Oh wait, so just a question. When you click a picture with a normal DSLR, the mirror goes down and up. It is that. Oh, तो वो sound रहता है.
Yeah, that's the sound.
वाला
That's the sound of the shutter.
Oh,
So
that's why the viewfinder turns off तभी.
Yeah. So the mirror, it
I
goes
know
up and
that.
down, and for that second of a time, मतलब 1 second के लिए वो light falls onto the sensor, and then the sensor captures that. That's how you take a picture in a DSLR.
Oh, that's why DSLR में you can't use the viewfinder if you're recording a video. That makes so much more sense. I always wondered कि
That's right.
क्या problem है इनको. This is easier to process.
Yeah.
And whatever. I just thought कि the processing a photo or video is so hard that they can't put a viewfinder
ऐसा
on
कुछ
it.
नहीं. No, it's purely because of how it's built, right? It records in 4K resolution, 4 times 1080p. All right, that's 4K essentially. 120 frames per second. That's like very fast.
If you don't know 120 frames a second, come on.
I mean, I can't explain it. You can go Google it, but yeah, it's essentially it's capturing 120. Like when taking video, it's capturing 120 frames per second, which requires a lot of computing power. So, like capturing like 120 frames, and each of those frames is like 4K resolution. So that requires a lot of computing power, and this is probably the only camera that does it right now, and it captures it in RAW, and the RAW format requires even way more storage. Yeah, you can explain RAW. Yeah.
So when you click a picture, what the camera does is click multiple pictures. One is high exposure, one is low exposure, and it will combine those to form a good picture, which is good looking. But in that process, they lose a lot of data because if something is white, it becomes clearly white. Like sometimes the sky is overblown or something like that. All the data in that is lost because it was falling on the sensor. You just overexposed it. And to make the picture low in size so that you can share it on social media or something like that, that data is erased. Because technically on the screen, it's not visible because it's all white to it, but there is data in it. Clouds are different color, thoda grayish color. What RAW photo does is, it saves all the data that is falling on the sensor. Yeah, that's a lot of data.
Yeah.
If you click a raw picture, a single picture is about 30 megabytes. At least from my phone.
Yeah.
So when you have all that info, what you can do is you can combine everything. You can put your own color grade and stuff on it. You can color grade just the sky part if you want. And since there is that extra information, it's easier to color grade later.
Yeah.
So that's the gist of it. It's basically saving everything as that it's getting, even though it might be not visible right now. That's the gist of RAW photos.
Yep, exactly. So it's taking the 4K resolution, right? And then it's recording at 120 frames, 124K frames at 1 second, and they're in RAW, all right? So the sheer amount of like computing power that is required, that's what makes this camera, the R5, stand out from everybody else. So essentially, guys, C-Log is a color profile which you like set on the camera.
That's easy to edit, basically. Edit and color grade over. Like creators prefer it, I guess.
They definitely prefer it. So
because it's easy to color.
So you can like there's a setting in your camera too. You can tell the camera ki C-Log mein capture kar, and then it records, and then it captures colors in a certain way that it is easier to like manipulate those colors later on when you're editing it, right? So that's the most desired color
is C-Log
profile.
C-Log on Canon only, or is it
it's a universal. It's not a Canon thing only. Like you can put it in your aisa kuch nahi. It's not a copyright or anything. But it does. But that has got nothing to do with like performance. The performance just comes from like 4K 120 and what do you call it? RAW. Yeah. And like as I said, no other camera is able to do that. And this R5 is priced at $5,200, $5,600 US dollars. Yeah.
You should mention the dollars, man.
Yeah. No. Something crazy like that. And
but $5,200 is not that much.
Yeah, I mean,
like Red ka cameras cost $50,000.
Yeah, I know. That is because you can't actually record at 4K 120 raw for long periods of time, because then your body is gonna overheat, right? And that's one of
Yeah,
the
exactly. That
problems.
is what I was gonna ask.
That
Is
is
the
one of the-
body is that small? How is it recording for so long?
Yeah, it can't actually. That's what Peter also, brought up in his video. Why Red is priced that way? Because they have like two huge fans inside the body, all right, to cool all that stuff. So that's why they're expensive, and that's why they're heavy. The Red cinema cameras are heavy. Canon C200,
Yeah.
they're heavy because they're cinema cameras and they need to be cooled for longer recording periods, especially when they might be present in such an environment where the weather is hot, there's like hot lights, and in such cases you have to
And the
shoot cinema.
footage might be time sensitive, right? Like
Exactly.
you can't just re-record it every time.
That's right,
why
exactly.
they trust Red so much.
Yeah.
And
Cinema cameras are
another
a
point
complete league
is-
of their own.
So another point is, if it can't record for long, what is the point of showing off marketing wise? But if it can record raw at 4K 120 FPS, it will do 4K 30 FPS raw really well, because
Yeah,
it's actually meant to do 120.
that's right.
So that is the point we are trying to make here.
Yes. Also, the fact that it is very, very small, you just go online and go see the size of the damn camera, and you'll be really surprised at how small it is and
Also,
how much
what's
computing
CF
power
Express?
is. All right. Oh, CF Express. Right. So Canon R5 supports an SD card slot, a regular SD card slot, and a CF Express card slot. All right. So this new CF Express cards, we've talked about it in Unengineered Shots. You can go check it out on IGTV, right? It uses the same memory interface that is used in our laptops. It uses PCI 3, all right? And that is why it is...
PCI Gen 3.
Yeah.
Damn, that must be fast.
Exactly. So a conventional card, right? तुम्हारा SD card, it has a maximum speed of 200 Mbps. वो भी एकदम महंगे वाले SD cards, all right? Your QXD cards, महंगे वाले 500 Mbps max. CF Express starts at 1 gigabit per second, all right? It goes up to 4 gigabits per second. Gigabytes, sorry.
Gigabytes per second.
Yeah. Up to 4 gigabytes per second, because it has 4 lanes of PCI 3. So 1 GB, 1 GB, 1 GB, 1 GB, 4 GB, effectively 4 gigabytes per second
Damn.
speed. Yeah. And this is just PCI 3.
That is really
This is just
fast.
PCI 3. They adapt. It's possible for them to go to PCI 4, and it's gonna increase even further. So yeah.
Like we have reached a point where they won't have to innovate
Yeah.
storage tech for a long period of time.
Exactly. This is why CF Express has been adopted. So there's also standardization, right? There will be a point where, see, this is the next SD card. Right now, everybody's using SD card, so it's a standardized, storage format. Now, I think 5 years down the line, CF Express has the potential to be standardized, and so instead of like an SD card slot in our laptops, we'll get a CF Express card slot.
I don't think Apple's gonna do it.
Alright, Apple nahi dega, bhai. Let's see. वो देखा जाएगा. It's just an estimation. So that's the
I don't
goal
know.
of like making a CF
Any
Express
other
card.
port is ever gonna be in a MacBook except
Nah. Thunderbolt. इसके बाद तो नहीं.
for a
After-
long period of time.
No. I don't think so. Unless there's a very... I'll be very surprised if they put anything in a laptop for however long Apple exists. I don't think they're gonna put... a Thunderbolt 4 डाल देंगे वो लोग.
Oh, the next USB standard they'll put.
Yeah, they'll put
And
that.
remove the पिछला ऐसा.
सब कुछ
अभी
निकाल
USB
देंगे.
4 आ गया था Thunderbolt 4 के साथ, and then just remove everything and then move.
Yeah. But we're not talking about that. But we'll move. Okay, so that's the best and the greatest. Canon R5 4K 120 RAW, small, portable, light, mirrorless. Yeah. The step down is the Canon R6. All right, it retails for around 36.
How is R6 the step down?
It is a step down. So if you I was
Have you
very
lost it?
I was very confused initially also, but if you the Canon का naming convention वैसा ही है, it's very confusing. All right, so it's Canon 200D. If you look, it's around 50,000 rupees. All right, you go down Canon 7D, Canon 6D, Canon 5D, Canon 1D. As the numbers go down, the price increases and the functionality increases.
So R1 is the best camera they have, or there is no R1.
I don't know. I don't know the R series.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's very confusing. I just know that D. That's the regular. I don't know, man. It's very confusing. But yeah, उनका D series का तो ऐसा ही है, and it looks like that for the R series also. So I don't know R3, R1 मैं सुना नहीं है, but R5, R6 has come out. So the R6 is a step down, and it cannot obviously do 4K 120 RAW. but it can do 4K 30, I think. Also, the megapixel count on the R6 is 45, which is quite a lot, right? Even like most cameras nowadays have no more than 24 or 25, and expensive ones don't have more than that. But the Canon R5 at $5,700 has 45 megapixels. The R6 has 20 megapixels at $3,600.
But why don't these cameras have high megapixel count if they can?
Because
Like,
they
is there
can't.
a point of diminishing returns or loss hota hai kahin pe
I have,
aage?
I don't know, but I've noted a very drastic relation between cost and megapixel in this very case, right? You like to reduce the cost, they have halved the number of megapixels.
But that doesn't make sense.
It
I know
does
the
make
megapixel
sense.
to picture quality ratio is not that great, but as a some level pay, if you
No,
increase the
actually, at some
megapixel-
level, it is. It is at least in like proper DSLR cameras, good enough for like professional.
good.
Yeah. So that is why even the 200D has like a 20 megapixel or 24 megapixel.
I've
lens.
seen some cameras that just go 20.1, like
Ha,
some
20.1.
barely making it.
20.1. Yeah.
They're just like YouTubers. 10 minute 1 second, 8 minute 1 second away.
Great point. So the R6 has a megapixel count of like literally half, 20, 24, yeah, 20 something. Yeah. So they've cut down the cost also by a big margin. And it obviously cannot do 4K 120 RAW, but it can do 4K 30 pretty well. And yeah, for people who are like, oh, meko utna nahi chahiye, you can just go ahead and buy like the R6. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like this, like
And he
there's
says
nothing.
it's a nonchalant way. If you don't need this, you can just buy the R6.
Yeah, if you don't want to
It's
put like
just half
50,
your-
तुमको 6,000 या $5,500 नहीं डाल रहा है, तुमको $3,500 डालना है, you can go for R6. Also, the R6 does not support CF Express because it does not need CF Express cards.
It'll
That's
just-
pretty much it.
The reason they don't include it is, I think CF Express will be costlier than SD card.
Quite
for
costly.
obvious reasons.
Quite costly.
Yeah, so just to bring the price a little more down, they just forego the CF.
Also because the recording capabilities of like the R6 do not need right speed.
Yeah, exactly. SD card can fulfill it.
Exactly. That's it for the
Don't know what that is.
topic right now. That was the Canon R6 and R5. Sorry to all the Nikon users out there, but I've never respected Nikon as a camera company. It's just that the
मैंने as a
feel...
name उनको respect नहीं किया. I just didn't like the name they put it. Like Canon, Sony, Nikon. What? Is your
Oh god, I'm so sorry. I don't
check
know.
कर ले एक बार.
It's just that the way their cameras feel, the build, I don't know, man. I really don't know what it is. But
We're just gonna have a bunch of Nikon fans roasting us as like, oh, you don't know, so can't describe RAW. Talk about Nikon. I'm like, you can't record RAW. Shut up.
I don't know whether Nikon can record RAW, but I don't know, man. The
I
Canon
don't know. With
cameras
a name
feel...
like that, I don't think it can. Sorry.
We're just hating on Nikon at this point. Nikon, please sponsor this podcast.
Why would they?
I'm kidding.
You know, in the
kidding.
future, we're
I'm
gonna
kidding.
buy a lot of cameras and like, we're like, this video is sponsored by
Bruh.
Nikon, and then we'll just put this segment in.
Oh my god. I hope the sponsorship should happen. We shouldn't put the segment in.
पैसा चाहिए बस उसको जो
Oh god. Yeah, but Canon cameras just feel way more premium for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's the build quality, the leather, the material they use, the way they build it. I don't know what it is, but
Canon is basically your Apple, right?
yeah, it's actually. Oh my god, I hate to say that, but yeah, it is. What?
Yes, you don't know what it is, but it's great.
Yeah, exactly. It's like an iPhone SE in one hand and a Samsung
You messed.
in the other hand. No offense to Samsung.
is nice.
No offense to Samsung. But
हमारा पूरा वीडियो ये है ना, no offense to this guy and then offending them.
I don't know why the iPhone feels good. Like both of them are great in their price segment, but this one feels good.
That logo feels good, man.
Shit.
Let's move on to the. I
Facts.
guess we concluded with this topic. Now
Facts, yeah.
we're out of point. We're just roasting camera companies
Yeah.
now. Next topic. Let's talk about that game.
Yes, the game. I'm very excited. So, alright. So, if you guys...
Let's start by showing them that you're really interested in it as a game.
मैं वही बोल रहा था.
Okay.
So,
Ah.
one thing to know about me, guys, is I'm really into games, alright? And part of the fact is that I really love good stories, alright? I like to read and watch stuff with great story, and there's lots of content out there which has good story, right? But games are one medium of consumption where I'm actually part of the story, right? So it's way more important for the story to be good. Take a shot every time I said the word story in that sentence, all right? That's why I really like games with good stories, because I get to be a part of that story, and it's way more immersive, and it's fantastic, all right? The last two games I played with memorably good stories were Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Hellblade 2 Senua's Sacrifice. All right, we're going to talk about the second one, Hellblade 2, because that matches up with the game that we're going to talk about today, The Medium. All right, and The Medium and Hellblade 2 are both psychological thrillers, right? But why the Hellblade 2 stood out for me was, one, because I obviously played it, and two, Hellblade 2 has binaural. It's binaural.
Binaural.
It's a form of audio, right? And when the audio plays, it feels as if there's someone in the room with you. So binaural audio is like a three-dimensional audio, right? So it ties in with the story of the game, Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 mein the main character, her name is Senua, all right? And she has some mental issues, and because of that, she keeps hearing these voices in her head, all right? And while we are playing Senua, the binaural audio enables us to hear those voices as if they're inside our head. So when I'm playing the game, there's a voice coming from the right ear in a way that makes me feel that someone's standing to my right. All right, and
it's all that 360 experience.
Oh. And it was something that I'd never played before, and I was so excited, and that's left a very great impression on me, and that is why I really really like. So in general मुझे thriller stories पसंद है, ठीक है? And these psychological thrillers, I really like them even more. Psychological thriller games. So yesterday I stumbled upon this new psychological thriller that's getting hyped, and it's called The Medium. All right, in The Medium, the story is about this one girl who's trying to solve some kind of a mystery, and this girl exists in two worlds simultaneously. All right, she can exist in the human world, and she can exist in the spirit world at the same time. I don't know how exactly it works, but that's how the gameplay showed. You can go and check it out. You can go onto the internet and type out The Medium gameplay, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But in the gameplay, it shows that her her iris is right. The pupils of her eyes are two colors, like split down the middle. Samjha?
Yeah.
So like it's kind of freaky, but it's kind of cool at the same time. So her pupil is split down the middle, and one half of it is like bluish, and the other half of it is like reddish. And because that's the color scheme of the human world and the spirit world in the game.
So it's like
Yeah.
she's seeing both the worlds. That's why it's split in
That's
the
why
middle.
We're not playing like from a first person perspective. We're playing from
but
third person. Yeah. That your screen while playing the game, your screen is literally split down the middle, and you're rendering two different worlds at the same time. And this is why it came to my attention, right? Because of this big rendering workload, the recommended system requirements at 4K resolution is an RTX 2080 card.
But that's with the ray tracing, right?
That's with ray tracing, right? Without ray tracing, it's 2070 Super. But
these are still...
Yeah. I mean, there's a negligible price difference between a 2070 Super and a 2080. But let's not get into it. It's something very new, and the level design is so good. I really look forward to that game, all right? And I hope that my favorite streamers, all right, PewDiePie, Radbrad, and yeah, I think these are the two I watch. Yeah, though. I hope they play it. And I'm really looking forward to.
They won't play it. It's hyped up, right? These guys are really hyped up. Yeah.
Not always, but yeah, most of the times they do.
I mean, it seems like a good game with a good story.
It is.
I just hope the section of the middle doesn't disconnect from... Because
no, it's actually...
disconnect from the experience. Because previously what games have done is, aisa scenario रहेगा तो they'll just, whenever needed, they'll just push you into the next world. I mean, if it's soul and real world, right? So if soul world में कुछ करना रहेगा, they just transform it to the soul world, or you can go into the soul world with a power up or something like that. Normally games
that
used to
happens
do
in this
that
game
too.
also. So
Huh.
essentially,
But the soul world is always there, right? You can see it. हमेशा soul and real.
yeah,
पहले
yeah.
होता था you're just in one world, and then whenever कुछ करना है soul world में, they
switch
just
होता था.
transport you to the
नहीं
soul.
वैसा नहीं.
हाँ. So
So essentially, it's in the gameplay also. In some parts of the game, right, there are these puzzles that you have to solve to like proceed. Like in most games nowadays, for example, there's a door in front of you, right, and you can see in the soul world that there's an entire room behind that door, but you can't go through the door because you have a physical manifestation.
oh, this was in the trailer.
So yeah, to like go through the door, you have to like completely. So when that happens, right, when you completely go to the soul world or you completely come to the mortal world, the screen is disproportionately cut off. Like, so instead of half, it goes 3/4 in either direction.
That's better.
Yeah, so that's slightly better. And so the example that they showed in the gameplay was that she had to go through a door, and she couldn't do that while she was half soul and half mortal. So she completely transferred herself to the soul world, and in the mortal world she kind of stuck in the same place. All right, she's like statue in the mortal world, and then she goes into the next room behind the door, and then she uses her powers to like send an electricity charge in the soul world. So in the real world, that electricity charge goes and activates the door, and the door opens. It's sort of like that. That's cool. How so that's how like the puzzle is.
So basically it's a game with a great story, at least rumored to be a great story.
Yeah, it does look like a great, like,
and the concept is new.
The concept is very new, especially after what they tried with The Last of Us 2. I think this is the next big thing that they're gonna try. We'll have to see, because The Last of Us 2 was hyped for like 7 years. It was kind of disappointing. Yeah, you don't know, or do you?
So the reason it's hyped up is because it's a technological advancement, the way they have done it, putting two worlds side by side and stuff.
It is,
and that's why it's gonna require high. It's
gonna require quite some more amount of stuff to like process. The basic requirements are like the usual 1066 GB. They actually, like, the CPU, the recommended CPU is a 3700X. Which is like a $300 Ryzen card, 3700X. It's an 8-core 16-core. So yeah, they're like, ये चाहिए रहेगा तुम लोग को, बोला recommended.
You need to be serious.
Exactly. There's very less information even on Wikipedia. The like Wikipedia couldn't tell me anything that I already did not know from watching the trailer and the gameplay. So yeah, there's that. I think that's all we have to talk about the game. It's called The Medium. The studio का मुझे नाम याद नहीं है, but you should definitely go check it out on YouTube right now.
They did a lot of minute while doing this.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. Because imagine creating two different worlds, but they have to look similar enough so people are convinced कि हाँ ये same जगह है.
And you have to connect them in ways that both are useful.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to design.
So it's not just making two different worlds. It's also combining them.
Yeah, and then you have to put a story behind the two worlds. You can't just put two worlds for the sake of putting it, right? So it requires a lot. Like, I
the
mean,
developers.
Yeah.
Credits to the developers.
Yeah, seriously.
That's it.
Is that it for the episode?
I guess that's it. We didn't plan anything else, but this was a fun episode. We laughed a lot.
काफी ज़्यादा recording हो गया, फिर भी तो अच्छी बात है, no problem.
Anyway, that's about it. That's been our time. You've been a great audience.
Do we need to plug in?
Comedian नहीं बनना है. Comedian नहीं बनना है. It creates a lot of problems.
Oh my god. Alright, so this has been the 8th episode of the Unengineering Podcast. My name is Atik. Please go check it out please go follow on Instagram. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, so your friends can be technologically advanced, and you can also be technologically advanced.
And they can stop worrying about their job going away.
Yeah. Oh, please. Oh shit. Please show your friends those clips, alright? Show your parents those clips. Show your mama, chacha.
Job chala hi jana.
And your WhatsApp forward sending wannabe techie LinkedIn पे post करने वाला friend. Tell him कि नहीं, तेरा job नहीं जा रहा, अपने काम से काम.
Oh हाँ.
Just tell him.
Bye.
That's the episode. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Have a nice day.